This is what the hostas look like when they're ready to be harvested to eat. Okay? Now hold on. So Joe from Joe and Zach Survival says they're still good at this point. They're just starting to uncurl, but at a certain point they get bitter, and I'm fine with what I tried. So, yep, hostas are good. Hey folks, it's Greg. You're watching Greg's Country Cabin Outdoors. Hope you're having a great day. I'm out at my cabin. It's Saturday, and I had the opportunity to go fishing. And I caught 6 fish, and they're in the oven right now. I'm baking them. And I found a new way to like fish, and that's with the Old Bay seasoning. But I was watching a YouTube channel, Joe and Zach Survival, and Joe said that you could take hostas and saute them. So I clipped off a bunch of hostas. I've had hostas out here for several years, and I've heard they were edible. So what I'm going to do is, I've got my bacon grease heating up right here. I'm going to saute my hostas in the bacon grease, and if this turns out as good as I hope it does, I'll be living off the land. Totally off the land. I planted these hostas many years ago, and I've heard they were good to eat. I never tried them before, so I thought I'd give them a shot. It's that time of year. They're in the right situation right now. Their leaves aren't rolled out yet, so we're going to try it, see how it works. Looks like I might have to turn the heat down a little bit. I had it on high because the bacon grease is warming up. It already smells good. If it smells as good as it tastes, then it'll be good. Oh yeah, it smells real good. Of course, the bacon grease adds a lot to it, I'm sure. I think Joe sauteed his in butter and garlic, which I have garlic here somewhere. Couldn't begin to tell you where, but it's not a problem. I'm not too concerned about it with all this bacon grease in here. There's some garlic salt right there, and it's even loose. So let's try some garlic salt. Now you're thinking, what do I mean by loose? Well, out here at the cabin, things draw moisture, and they tend to set up. So you end up with a clump at the bottom of the jar, and you have to break it up with a fork in order to be able to use it. But, like I said, that was loose, so I'm going to go ahead and finish cooking this up and see how it tastes. My fish will be done in about 2 minutes. And I always liked fried fish, but when I tried this baked fish with the Old Bay seasoning, I probably won't go back to fried fish for quite some time. I really like it. It tastes great. So I'm going to grab a fork and see if I can sample one of these without burning my face off. There's a small one that looks like it's done, so let's try it, see how it works. That's pretty good. It wasn't anything like I expected. It's got a kind of an asparagus taste, but it's not really asparagus. But yeah, it's really good. So thank you, Joe from Joe and Zach Survival, for suggesting this. And I'm looking forward to having this for supper. Living off the land. Don't get to do that very often anymore. I grew up on a farm and we lived off the land all the time, but I didn't pick up my gardening skills and I didn't learn how to can vegetables like I should have. So I've been living off of the grocery store. But with this COVID-19 going around and everybody in quarantine, you have to be willing to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And I'm sure if you've watched the movies, you've heard that line before. Clint Eastwood, Heartbreak Ridge, improvise, or adapt, improvise, and overcome is the way he said it. But yeah, I've been improvising, adapting, and overcoming for years in my trade. So yeah, life is good for this old redneck hunter gatherer. Okay, so one of the things that I did today is I replaced this rheostat because it was here originally, and we used it for the overhead light, and it would turn on and off, but it wouldn't dim. So I decided to go ahead and get that dimmer replaced. And one of the other things I did was to replace the switch in this light. It would work sometimes and it wouldn't work other times. And I think what happened is the Asian beetles got into it. So one of the other things that I did was to attempt to replace the light switch right here for outside. And I was able to replace the switch. The bulb was burnt out, and I put a new bulb in it, took the fixture down, and it wasn't the fixture. I thought maybe it might be, and it wasn't the switch. So somewhere inside the wall between the light switch and the power box over in the corner under the cabin in this area down here, there's a break in the wire. It worked when we first moved out here. It doesn't work at all now. So I got to put a shutter back up. I took that down. There was a pretty nice wasp nest growing behind there, so I took that out. But anyway, that's what I've done today. This is Greg. You've been watching Greg's Country Cabin Outdoors. Hope you enjoyed this little video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.